Okay, here we go. Hello everybody, 'tis I, the Rumpled One. Part 4 of putting these wheel bearings back on. Now the problem is I believe I have got a bad hub. So I may have to do this again in the near future. But since I don't have the hub and I need to get the truck back on the road, I'm just going to go ahead and work with what I got. But the problem is that this is spinning in here and it's not supposed to do that. So we'll put this back on like so. We got the new bearing here. Once again, copious amount of grease. We went in there. Because we don't want it to go bad. We get grease all around this, all down there. That goes in like that. Take the ring, put it back in, like so. We take the nut. Got to make sure we put it on there right. Put the nut on. Once again, the 1 1/16 socket. And it is definitely a greasy mess here. That's why you have plenty of rags. And we are tightening. Don't want to put it on too tight, just so it drags just a little bit. Okay, that feels about right. We put the lock back on. And I have to go get a new cotter pin. You know, it's funny, I was under the impression that these cotter pins were like auto grade or something, but the reality is these things are made in China. HO and China. Now some people only bend out one side. I bend out both sides. I think they do it that way because they think they can reuse it second time around. But on stuff like this, I don't like risking it. Okay, you put the cap back on. Grease cap. Actually, you know what? I should probably put some more grease in there now that I think about it. Usually that's what you do. Is you pack that with grease. That'll keep all the moisture out and keep things from rusting, especially here in the Great Northwest. So, there we go. We got that done. Huh. Okay, let's make sure we don't have any grease on the drum, rather on the rotor. I don't know why I keep wanting to call this a drum. I must be thinking about the back brakes for some weird reason. Okay, so now we put things back together in the exact opposite way we took things off. Not too difficult. Okay. And once again, we're using a 15 millimeter here. I like hand tighten them to get them in position first. Then we get the wrench. Make sure we're tightening. First we'll hand tighten each side. The upper you need the extender, the lower you don't. Tighten it by hand. And then we'll get the special tool, slip it over the end of the wrench, and get some leverage on it. And we want to make sure this is tight. So put a little elbow into it. Okay. No more wobble there. Now we slip the brake pads back in. Like so. Take the calipers. Put the calipers back on. Get the caliper bolts out. Once again, these use a 14 millimeter. We will tighten them by hand first. And we want to make sure we're tightening. Actually, I may have tightened. Let's see, is this going to line up? You know what? Shouldn't have done that. Should have done it by hand first. Let's see. Have a little problem getting that to go in. Okay. Now let's see if I can get the top to go in. Yeah, it always happens when I turn the video on. Huh. This is being very stubborn. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, make sure we're tightening. Get this one up. Okay, now, the lesson I learned is I'm going to go get the 14 pneumatic socket so I don't break my 14 regular socket. So we got the 14. Nice and tight. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do it. And I hope if somebody's watching this, I hope this helps, because like I said, those other videos, they're good. I'm not putting them down. It's just, it's nice to know what size wrenches and sockets that you need, and to actually see everything done, as opposed to, you know, fast forwarding or not showing. You know, you can see the difficulties I've had and the challenges and the problems and how I overcame them. So that's it. So now I got to do is put the wheel back on and take it out for a test drive. So that's it, fellow mechanics. TheRumpledOne signing off.